9 HD2.
All right, Tim joins us now right through the guest line, talk about Game 2. But before we do that, Tim, I'd like to get your take on Dan Hurley turning down the Laker job. Did you expect that, or did you think there may have been a chance?
You always think there's a chance, when you go to one of those pro teams, because the pro game is so different. You don't have to recruit anymore. You're concentrating on basketball all the time. You're dealing with men instead of, kids, and cutting class and all that stuff at the collegiate level. But $70 million, that's life changing. So he's got something special going on in UConn, and again, he's the man in UConn. You go to the LA Lakers, you're coaching guys that want to run the team and everything, and we know we got the biggest player GM to ever walk the planet on that team. So there's a lot of good things, bad things to both sides, and obviously Danny Hurley wanted to stay at UConn and continue running that program.
You think that as controlling as Dan Hurley is with that UConn program, that he might have been, what I think I hear you saying to me, might have butted heads with some of the veterans, especially when LeBron James, the quasi-head coach, quasi-general manager?
Oh, without a doubt. In college, the head coach is a man. He controls everything. Storrs, Connecticut is his whole area. And yeah, exactly. When you go to the pros, there's going to be somewhat, but you go to the Lakers, first, obviously, if you don't win a championship, you're a failure there. The money's nice, but he's got a great life. He's got a great thing going in Connecticut and wanted to stay there. And do you want to have to, take a back seat to LeBron James, especially at this point of his career? He's only going to be around for another year or two. So, that's a headache that he just didn't want.
I can identify with that. Working with these two guys, it's a headache I didn't want, but I'm still here, Timmy.
And lucky to have it,
yeah,
Jimmy.
really. Here's the thing. Tim, do they go then for J.J. Redick? Is he the guy then that is going to be next in line, or is it Borrego, who's the assistant coach that they've been talking to as well?
Yeah, I think James Borrego and Kenny Atkinson would be much better choices for the Lakers in the overall scheme of things. But then again, you have to factor in LeBron James and what he says and decides in the whole situation. But James Borrego's phenomenal. Kenny Atkinson is a guy that's been around the block. He understands the NBA game very well. He's won championships. So I think those two guys are better than JJ, just from the standpoint of all the pressures and everything that goes with the job in Los Angeles.
Are you in Flagstaff, by the way, with the train? Where are you?
You like that, huh? That's pretty good.
Is that Flagstaff? Are you near Flagstaff?
Pretty close.
Okay, all right, good. All right, we don't want to tell people where we're at, but just
cooler climb.
Yeah. All right, Game 2. This game was a little tighter, obviously, than Game 1. What was your biggest takeaway?
That it really all depends on what the Celtics do. Whatever the Celtics do or don't do is going to factor into how the series goes. Defense, again, was phenomenal. They're just wearing those guys down, not letting the bench players get involved. You look at Dallas's lineup, and those guys have got to be given shots by Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And the individual defense on those two guys, by the Celtics, doesn't force any rotations, doesn't leave guys open in the corner for three, P.J. Washington, Jones Jr. Those guys aren't going to create their own shots. And because of the way the Celtics play defense individually out front, you got Tatum, you got Brown, you got Derek White is doing a heck of a job. And then, of course, Drew Holiday just makes it difficult. And, just wearing those two guys down, they don't have to worry about rotations. They stay home on those guys. And they're a much more balanced offensive team. Last night it was Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum. Tatum doesn't have a good game, but it's not a big deal because they have so many good players that can make shots on that Boston Celtic team. Well, and they didn't even shoot the ball that well. They only made 10 threes, and they still had plenty of a game. So it's really up to what the Celtics do, and they're going to have to stub their toe in a big way for Dallas to gain any ground on them, in my opinion.
It's interesting when we've been talking about Drew Holiday, you talk about Tatum's and Brown, and they're kind of front and center, but there's steady as she goes. Drew Holiday, he just kind of seems to know when to pick it up and when to calm guys down. And his 26 points and with 11 or some rebounds, he just quietly goes about his business. But I call him the closer, Tim.
No, he's phenomenal. We saw it front and center. The Suns had a 2-0 lead on the Bucks a couple of years ago, and Drew Holiday said, "Okay, that's enough, Devin Booker." And he really took Devin out of the series as a young guy that hadn't faced that in the playoffs yet. His first big run, and Drew Holiday to me, he's one of the best players in the league that doesn't get talked about enough. Because he's not flat, just goes about his business, and whatever the team needs at any given moment, he does, and he's just so consistent. He's just so good, and mentally he's so tough. He's not worried about scoring points or whatever. It's just, okay, this is what I'm going to do right now because this is what the team and my guys need right now.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Tim, take me to Luka Doncic and explain to everybody how good this guy is. First off, he can hardly run with a bad sprained knee. He can't breathe. He's all wrapped up he looked like the Michelin Man before the game began. How in the wide world of sport does he have a triple-double and still keep his team in contention with everything that is going on with his body?
You believe all that stuff with Luka Doncic. You've seen him flop and act and be a diva, and you think that's because he's hurt. Those are called excuses. No, I'm just joking.
I know that.
You guys know I'm not a big Luka Doncic fan. I think he goes about. He's very talented. Let me make that first and foremost. Luka Doncic is a heck of a basketball player. I just don't like the way he plays. But that's the perfect example. Luka could go out and get a triple-double, and it really doesn't, mean a heck of a lot in the scheme of things because Boston is just a better team, 1 through 12 or 1 through 8, whatever you want to say, whoever's playing the game. He's a heck of a player. He's got size, so he has the ability to shoot over guys. He's got size to take smaller players down low as well as go against bigger players. He's got great range. And, he's always in control. He's another one of those guys. You don't think of Luka as a speedster or this guy that's going to beat you, with his quickness, but he plays to his timing, his speed, and just wears you down. He's got great court vision, obviously. So, that always helps with his passing. You try to double team him, and he throws it over the top of those double teams. He's a heck of a ball player, and right now they're just wearing him down. He looks fresh to start the game, but the second half.
3.
So, Tim, aside from Kyrie Irving stepping up and mixing in a shot once in a while, who else is the other individual or individuals that need to step up and help Luka out?
Oh, I think we lost him.
It's a trains.
I'm going to call back.
Yeah, well, gee, we can reconnect.
Oh,
with
we're
Timmy
good.
real
We
quick.
only had a minute left, so that's okay. We'll catch up with him another time, but good to catch up with Tim Kempton. He will join us later in the week from wherever he is. I'm sure much cooler than here. When you hear a train,
yeah,
you know you're not in Phoenix.
Especially that train.
Or at least downtown.
We know that
Phoenix you may, but that particular train sounded like Route 66.
Yes,
maybe.
Yep.
Sitting at that old Marley's. He's sitting at that old Marley's, right there on 66, looking over, and he's seeing that train go by.
2.
Either that or
that
that
is.
train that's on Flagstaff you hear come on. You hear that echo throughout the
That's not
canyon.
what I'm talking about.
No, well,
66.
Route 66.
Yeah,
Marley's.
Flagstaff. Yeah, Marley's, Flagstaff.
that's
So
where
you got
it
a place up there?
He did. Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I said the old Marley's.
Oh, I didn't realize you ever had one up there.
Starting the week off again.
No.
Because I told you, I know you sent me the email. You apologized for last week. So this week you're going to step up.
There's
Oh,
a.
you missed it, Jimmy B.
I-
Rewind.
the-
Rewind was all minute.
I never had a
you
chance.
mean I
to-
was off the hook?
You were on just a little bit. You weren't on long term.
There's trains that go downtown Phoenix too at the current Marley's.
Okay,
But they never knew we had a Marley's up in Flagstaff.
You didn't?
Never, ever.
Yeah, they had one for a long time.
No, because that train's distinctive. That's a Flagstaff train going.
Exactly.
Through
Yeah.
If that's what you meant, I had no idea. Didn't have a point of reference.
That's all right.
Now that I know, okay.
Because you nodded like you knew what I was talking about.
Well, I thought
Obviously,
maybe
you
He always does
the
that.
downtown and the downtown Marleys. That's
One.
what I'm aware of.
Hey, Tim Kempton is brought to you by Fogco. Beat the heat with a patio misting system. We all know mornings and nights are great here in the Valley. Well, how about putting something out there in your backyard or in your pool area that can cool it all the time? Stay cool all summer. Fogco in Tempe. We have Mr. They give you a free quote by going to the website, fogco.com. That's fogco.com. Or you can call them 800-607-6478. That's 800-607-6478. They've been serving the Valley for over 35 years. Get a quote. Find out if you can put one in your backyard and cool that yard all summer long. That's fogco.com. Coming up, the FBI releases 405 pages of documents on the O.J. Simpson murder investigation. I'm going to go through